Hey guys, Tony. Oh, hey guys. It's too early, man. Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. First of all, I want to thank my sponsor, myself. I'm gonna drop the Patreon link on. I'm gonna pin it in the comments if I don't forget, and also put it in the description. You guys already know that I forget usually all the time, so it might not even be there. If you would like to join the Patreon and learn how I trade and all that good stuff, then obviously there's people on the Patreon chat and my comments that can fend for the way that I trade and that it's working out and stuff, which is great. I'm happy that it's working out for people. And then also you get access to my indicators and stuff. But anyways, sponsor myself, because I don't really got a sponsor. AAA. If you're watching this, I love for you guys to sponsor me. I love AAA. Love you guys. I love you guys. I love using your guys' service. I think it's fantastic. But GameStop, $100 officially goes down to 102. I think this was actually the very first joke video that I made. If you guys remember, where I was like, when I was like that. I think this was the very first joke video that I made on GameStop. And I basically said, basically called GameStop going to $100 like a couple of weeks ago, I think. And to be completely honest, I don't know where GameStop's going right now, right? Despite the market being, extremely bearish, GameStop has negative beta, right? And essentially what that means is that if the stock market is dropping, that means that GameStop has a really good chance of going up. It doesn't mean that it will. It just has a very good shot at going up. And keep in mind, GameStop still has a gap at $290, right? So there's still that gap at 290 that's eventually going to get filled. And you guys know that I love my gaps, right? I love gaps, and I think and they always get filled. At like 95% of the time, they're gonna get filled, right? Let me see where that is. See if I can get it there, whatever. That's good enough. There's a gap at 290, right? And gaps always get filled. You guys already seen this happen with the SPY. You guys already seen this happen with Tesla recently. I'm pretty sure it's happened with a bunch of other tickers. So I think that eventually it's gonna get filled, right? I think eventually this gap on GameStop is gonna get filled. I think it's going back to 290 eventually. I don't know when, but it is. But as far as right now, where I think it's going, I don't know. It closed a bullish day right now. Generally, GameStop likes reacting extremely well to it closed a bullish day, right? We have a perfect entry on the bull side, right? Red bubble. On the reverse MACD, stochastic is oversold. This would technically, I would consider this is a perfect entry. When it's actually in a bull market ish, GME responds ridiculously well to this. Like I would not be surprised to see GameStop move $50 to $70 to $100 after a bullish close day, right? And there's perfect examples of all this, right? So look at this. Perfect bullish day close. You rally from 180 to like 255, right? Perfect bullish day close like around this area. Rally from like 170, 180 to 190, so $20, right? Let me see. Perfect bullish day close. You rally from 150 to 230, like $230. Same here. From like 168, 170 to 196, so like $30. Right, perfect close. This one didn't hit because that's when everything was kind of going down a little bit. But right here, we went from 150 all the way up to like 345. That was the original run, right? But again, these daily bull triggers generally have a really good chance of having GameStop like rally like a whole bunch, right? So, but it's definitely weird right now because you're obviously in a bear trend, right? You're not in a bear market. You're just in a very long bear cycle. But the fact that you actually close, right? You actually broke bullish trend. So, I would argue that GameStop is actually in a not necessarily a bear trend, but a bear market, right, in itself. So I don't know how well this bull trigger would actually happen or how good it would actually be. I would personally maybe take a risk and probably play a GameStop call maybe for like 150 for like a month out just to see what happens, especially with the market tanking. So I think there's a high probability that this can definitely hit, but again, there's also a high probability that this can definitely not hit because GameStop's fucking weird and it sometimes does whatever it does, right? And it's kind of hard to predict a lot of things with GameStop unless you use the weekly bull trigger. So, and every single time the weekly has closed bullish, it's rallied extremely hard, right? There's plenty of instances of that happening. So this one was a little bit early where it actually closed a bullish on that weak trigger. It actually ran, but then it actually ran again to 250 like 3 weeks later, right? So technically it's still in that bullish cycle. But I mean, we go back every single instance, right? That was a start, boom, rallied, start, boom, rallied. So it definitely works, right? But now that we're on the lower end of it, now that we're at $100 and we broke that bullish trend, it's kind of weird to give a forecast on GameStop. Right now, I still have to say that I'm pretty bearish. I think that GameStop can run to 150. If it doesn't break these relative highs of like 160, I think it's going to drop all over again. But if it actually rallies, it breaks these relative highs of like 160 right here. Give me a second. I think if it breaks these relative highs of like 160, like around here, I think it'll keep pushing to 188. But if it runs up here, if the stochastic is already overbought and it's like somewhere around this area and it doesn't beat these relative highs, I think it's gonna come right back down to $100. I'll be completely honest. But if it rallies up here, it stays there, and then we close like a bullish week, then I think that from here, from 150, you're gonna push to like $250, like 230, $250 range. So I would not be surprised if this is the bottom for GameStop. I'll be completely honest. I would not be surprised because there's a lot of things in the back end that are starting to show up or show similar things like what's happened before. You're getting extremely close to closing a bullish week on GameStop, right? So I would have to say 100%. If GameStop closes a bullish week, I'd be buying calls all day long for like 2 months out just to be safe, right? Like a month and a half. Because usually once that bullish week closes, you have price rallies like $100, usually like $70 to $100, like 100% of the time, right? It's just the last time I bought them I only bought them out for like 2 weeks out. So I lost out and it actually rallied like on the third week and it was still in the bullish cycle. Sorry, I explain all this in different videos, but I think this can potentially be a GameStop bottom, right? This is what I think. I think for right now, because he closed the bullish stay, I think there's a really strong chance of it running to 150. And then if it does run to 150 this upcoming week, I think that it has an even stronger chance of closing a bullish week because a $50 move would definitely put GameStop at the point of possibly closing a bullish week. And then from the 150, there's a stronger chance that if it closes that bullish week, then I think the following week or two, you're going to like $230, right? I think I'm going to stop the video there because I think I'm just rambling for a bit. I think GameStop right now, if I had to take a risk, I would 100% play calls right now and then see what happens if it actually does break that 150, 160 barrier. If it breaks that and then it closes a bullish week, then I 100% think it's going to like $230. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.